Good morning and welcome to In Session. I'm Ryan Smith, and we begin this morning with breaking news out of Peru. In Session's Jean Casares has spoken with the family of Stephanie Flores Ramirez. She's the woman who police say Joran confessed to killing, and Jean is with us right now in Lima, Peru. And Jean, what an amazing interview. What can you tell us about the conversation you had with the family of Stephanie Flores Ramirez?
Good morning, Ryan. Well, it happened pretty late last night, and a lot of new information we heard from them. They are a wonderful family. I mean, just beautiful people inside and outside. But I think that the main thing that they said that was so surprising to me, and I have not heard this anywhere, but it was just yesterday that Enrique Flores, who is the brother of Stephanie Flores, spoke for the first time on the phone with Natalie Holloway's mother. He told me that they spoke and that Natalie's mother gave them her sincere condolences of what they were going through. She also voiced her concern that she hoped would not happen to them what had happened to the Holloway family because of Joran and all of its stories. And it seemed to be just a very heartfelt conversation. Now, he told me that he had spoken several days ago with Dave Holloway, and we know that Dave Holloway has been in Aruba. So the families have communicated by telephone for the first time. We knew they had wanted to, but now we can confirm that they have.
That is so wonderful to hear, that they're communicating, that they're talking. What has Enrique, his wife, the family members that you interviewed, what have they said about how this has all affected them?
They're still in mourning. I mean, the father of Stephanie, he was with them last night, but he was just too distraught to go on the air with us in an interview. Enrique spoke for the family. He said that when it all happened, they thought it was a kidnapping, and that Stephanie didn't come home that night, and she lived with her parents, and they kept reiterating to me how young she was. And, I think we forget that. We think of her as a young woman. They said she was a little girl almost. She was 21 years old,
wow.
So young. And she lived with her parents, and she didn't come home that night. And they couldn't understand it. They would talk to all of her friends, everyone they could think of. Nobody knew. So they went to police. Police thought it was a kidnapping. So they had counseled the family on what to expect, and the police were working this as a kidnapping case. Then they found her car in an alley. Ryan, we have not heard that before. In an alley, wow. They found her car. And although it was open, the keys weren't there, but they still thought it was a kidnapping. Then they got a hold of, and I don't think it was from police, but they got a hold of surveillance videotape on the street. There's a camera on every street here in Lima, and they saw her car pulling up to the Atlantic City Casino. So they knew she was there. So they went to the Atlantic City Casino. They saw videotape of her. They saw her leaving with a young man. It was the casino that gave them the name of that young man. Carolina, who we also spoke with last night on camera, she is the sister-in-law. She's Stephanie's brother's wife. They went home. She said she went up to Stephanie's room and turned on Stephanie's computer and Googled Joran, and she screamed because she couldn't believe what she saw. And, of course, when they saw Natalie Holloway, they knew exactly who this young man was.
Oh, my goodness. I can't imagine what they were going through at that moment. When they finally found all of this out, did they then talk to police? Was there anything further that happened, or did Enrique or his wife have any interaction with police about this?
Yes, they said that they were working with police at the time, definitely. But here's how it all happened. Mm-hmm. He said that it was in the early hours of Wednesday morning or late Wednesday night that they got that name, and shortly after I Googled the name, Enrique told me that he got a phone call that to this day he doesn't know who it's from, but he got a phone call, and they said, go to the Hotel TAC right now because your sister's been murdered. That's where she is. So he alone told me that he went to the hotel, and when he got there, there were homicide vehicles all over. And he said they knew what had happened. And he said it was a moment that I'll never forget and was one of the most horrible moments of his life. He said he called his father And he told his father where he was, and the father joined him. He said they wouldn't even let him in the hotel right away. But that can be normal, Ryan. When you have a crime scene and
Right.
you're processing it, many times you don't let the family go very close. But that's how they found out about Stephanie.
Wow, our hearts go out to the family. It is just so shocking to hear. Gene, I just have one other question for you. So you said they kept them out of the crime scene, and as you said, that's relatively normal, especially here. Did he eventually go in there? I'm wondering if he actually saw this scene, because I can't imagine what this must have been like for him.
I know that he identified the body. I know that he was the one that did that for the family. He had told me that he had to do it, that it was his responsibility. He had to do it. But I can't confirm if that was at the crime scene or if that was later at a morgue. But he told me so many different things. And as far as Joran Vandersloot, they want 25, 30, 35 years, want justice. And then after that, they want the United States to take him, or Aruba to take him. And I asked him, when I say the name Joran Vandersloot, what is your response to me? He says he's a murderer.
Wow.
An absolute murderer.
Wow.
And it was really something.
That is really something.
And we're going to
Gene.
have the interview, Ryan, for everybody. We're going to have it for us on In Session later today.
Okay.
So, and into tomorrow on Friday, because it was an extensive interview. It lasted for quite a while as he diagrammed everything.
Wow, Gene, I cannot wait to see that. Hold on for a second. I want to bring in Brian.